Patrick here with TechTheLead, and I'm right outside the GAEMS headquarters about to test out the GAEMS Guardian, a all-in-one system to take your console anywhere and play anywhere. I'm about to talk with Eddie, the marketing manager here at GAEMS, and test out the new Guardian to see if it really stacks up to what it says it is. Hi, this is Patrick from TechTheLead, and we're here at the GAEMS studio in Redmond, Washington with Eddie, the marketing manager here at GAEMS. And we're here testing out the GAEMS Guardian.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming out, Patrick. I'm really excited to be able to show this to you guys again. I know last time we met was down in California, and now I get to host you in our own office right here.
I mean, this office is pretty incredible. You can tell, like, y'all love games.
Oh yeah.
And this is an amazing piece to add to any gaming collection. So can you tell us a little bit more about what this is?
Yeah, absolutely. So GAEMS has been a company that's always strived to bring the console video gaming experience out of the living room, out of the bedroom, and provide a really high-end solution for some people that are really wanting to be able to play their console games on a high-end monitor with an HDMI input. And we've come a long way since we very first started, and we've listened to a lot of input, years and years of input based on some of our original products. And here we have the Guardian. This is our newest, latest and greatest. It's not only bigger and better in every way, it's got a 24-inch monitor, it's got a 1440p resolution, 9-watt dual speakers with dual subs, and an amplifier. This is a 3-chip unit right here. There's one chip for the visuals, one chip for the USB media center and HDMI out, and a separate chip for the audio. So we didn't really pull any punches at all with this, and this is definitely the greatest leap forward in the evolution of our product cycle that we've had so far.
I mean, this seems like just a monster. But you said this is for console games and going outside. Those things don't really go together. Why would I choose the Guardian over, plugging my console into a TV, chilling on my couch?
Yeah, some of our founders actually, who are always traveling with their Xbox or their PlayStation, they were finding that when they're taking their consoles on the road with them, say on a business trip or anything, they weren't able to actually plug their consoles into the TV. A lot of the hotel TVs had blockers on the back of them to where you couldn't plug your own devices in because they wanted you to buy their own content. So that wasn't really an option for them. So then they started to resort to having to pack their monitors or the TVs along with them on their business trips if they continued to want to play their console games. And so what they did is their very first prototype is they just built a case and put a monitor in it and had the Xbox built into it. And so that was the very first prototype, probably about 8 years ago or so. And from what we found, people were at the airport, people at the hotel were trying to offer our founders money for this thing.
Shit.
And they're like, well, maybe there's a market for this.
Right.
And so that's when the real R&D phase started to be able to produce something like this and really bring this experience to consumers that wanted to be able to take their console gaming experience, not just outside, but on those important trips that you can't miss, but you wanted to have that entertainment value of having your Xbox or your PlayStation with you while you're out doing whatever it is that wherever life takes you.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Looking at the screen, I'm pretty blown away by just the dimensions and then the quality, but some people are going to look at the specs and say, why only 2K in a 4K gaming world?
Yeah, absolutely. And so that is something that we get asked all of the time. Why are you not doing something that's 4K? And the thing is, the pixel density is, for a 4K monitor, you need to be up to well over 30 inches in order to get any kind of value out of getting 4K. So that's why we went with this monitor, which is 1440p, which is actually slightly higher resolution than a traditional true 2K. monitor. So we went with something that was not only going to have the appropriate pixel density for the size of the monitor, which is a 24-inch, but also something that was going to be able to have as fast of a refresh rate as possible. So for a 1440p monitor on IPS glass, we've got a 9 millisecond response time, and that's at 60 hertz right here. So this is really tuned to be the best possible monitor for console gaming for this size.
Gotcha. I mean, realistically, I can't even tell the difference. Like, it looks fabulous. This could be 4K to me, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I tell people all the time is once we have bionic eyes that can tell the difference between 4K and 1440 on a 24-inch monitor, then we might consider going 4K.
Okay, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So you also mentioned that this has 3 chips in it. Can you talk a little bit more about that? How does that really affect the visual, the audio? What's the 3rd chip?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is one of those things that actually affects the response time and refresh rate. Like, well, not necessarily the refresh rate, but the response time on the monitor, because we have one dedicated chip for the monitor right here, one dedicated chip for the audio, and another dedicated chip for our media center. And so that means that your chip that's dedicated to the monitor is not going to be fighting over power and resources. It's not going to be fighting over anything to take away from the audio. It's all going to one thing. Now, a lot of your desktop monitors that you might see that has audio and it's got the visual built into one chip, sometimes that's fighting over resources. And so that's why we really wanted to go with one dedicated chip just for the monitor, so you have the absolute best visual experience possible, and then one dedicated chip for this super high power audio system right here. That's 9-watt dual speakers with subs and an amplifier. Good to have a dedicated chip for that as well. And then the 3rd chip actually is for the media center. And so this media center, it's got a USB input right here, and that connects to the back of your Xbox or your PlayStation, but then transmits data through the front of the console. So if I'm using my camera setup, or if I'm using a game capture card, or if I'm using any extra media device, or I even want to charge my phone off of it, I can do all of that from the front of the unit.
Gotcha, that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. So you talked a little bit about the camera. So what's the use case? Why would you have a camera?
Well, content creation is such a huge part of what people do with games nowadays. So it used to be the best way to make a living. If you really were going to be a hardcore gamer, it was esports. You're going to be the top of your game and whatever game it is, and you're going to compete for the prize money, however that was. But the skill level that it takes to get to the top tier of esports nowadays is absolutely insane. But we're seeing more and more people start to be able to make careers for themselves in the content creation space. And so we really use this as a tool for the content creators. And like you can see here, we've got a Picatinny mounting systems where you can actually mount your cameras, you can mount your lights, you can even mount a microphone, however you want to build this loadout for your personal content creation needs, you can do that.
So this is perfect for streamers, content creators who constantly need to travel.
Yeah, exactly. And the really, really cool thing about this too for the content creators and even event coordinators is this has an HDMI out built into it as well. So on the back of it, I can duplicate this signal right here and stream that out to a capture card or my PC or even a big screen if I'm doing a tournament and I want to be able to broadcast what you're seeing here to a bigger audience.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So you mentioned this is for Xbox, PS4, but it also looks like Nintendo fans. How does that really work with this big of a case?
Well, with Nintendo fans, I mean, obviously we've seen the Nintendo Switch is a very popular device that people are using, and at this time, we don't have a way to necessarily mount the Switch into the console because of just the nature of it. If it's docked, it's not held in very well, right? And you can definitely still hook it up to it. It's just not going to load right into the inside of it. But we have played some Smash Brothers on this before, and it works amazing. But it's just not gonna like travel with it. But the thing is with the Switch, you're already kind of traveling with it anyways.
Right, yeah.
So it's just one of those things where it'll work, but it's not necessarily built specifically for a Switch.
Gotcha.
But there are some new micro ATX PCs that we are actually have our eyes on, and that is going to be an amazing fit for this thing once that becomes a reality here in the near future.
Got you. So for those Nintendo fans, this is a travel companion to your Switch where you can bring your Switch along, but it seems like you can still plug it in and play, and also bring your PlayStation or Xbox with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then I think with these bigger consoles too, one of the big worries that many of our viewers might have is the safety.
Mhm.
Like, you don't want this screen to break, you don't want this Xbox, PlayStation to break. You've spent so much money on it all.
Mhm.
What does this do to ensure that your console, that the case itself, the Guardian, is, you know, made to last?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you asked, actually. So we've taken quite a few steps to make sure that everything stays extremely secure in here. So we have a built-in controller cradle right here with straps that are going to hold your controller tight. We have a built-in cage that's going to protect the screen, but underneath the cage, you can see I've got 2 thumb screws right here, and I can lift the screen up just like so. And now I've got 2 durable Velcro straps that are going to hold my Xbox or PlayStation extremely secure. But we didn't stop there with it. So we actually have a molded silicone pad built into it as well. And so as you can see, there's different tiers and different ledges right here, and each one of those tiers is labeled to be able to fit a different console in it. So your biggest tier up top, that's going to fit your PlayStation 4 Pro perfectly, and it's going to hold it secure. It's a grippy surface, and so in the grip and the lip and the straps is going to hold your console extremely secure.
Oh wow. So I see there's like a lot of extra space here too outside the controller.
Mhm.
You know, what is this meant for? How do you pack it when you travel?
So you notice this space right here, this is actually meant for your cables.
Okay.
And so I've got one of my pouches right here. So this is the pouch that comes with it. All I need to do, and the really, really nice thing about this is I don't need to unplug anything from the back of the system or from the side or anything. I can leave everything completely plugged into the back here.
Yeah.
What all I have to do is I've got to unplug it, the 2 cables from the wall. So I've got 1 cable going into the wall from my Xbox and 1 cable going into the wall from the Guardian, and I'll take those and I'll fold them up nicely, put them inside of this padded pouch right here, and it's got a nice fleece finish to it, so that way it'll never scratch the screen or anything. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put those inside this extra Velcro strap, and that is where all my cables are going to go, right there.
So everything just comes with the system, goes with the Guardian, and you have your whole gaming setup with you. Streamers to casual gamers to whoever wants to bring this
Absolutely.
on. Man, this thing's pretty sick. I kind of want one right now. What's the market like with games?
This is definitely the most advanced unit we've ever built, and the price reflects that. We're about double the price of our previous gaming cases, and that puts us at $700 for this, for a product that is 5 inches bigger in terms of the overall viewing angle and quadruple the pixel counts. Way more powerful in every way, and with the added features of the media center as well. I think that the $700 price range reflects the value of this very well.
I mean, honestly, you're gonna get the bang for your buck getting one of these.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can get a TV, but you're kind of stuck with that. You can't go anywhere. You get this, you get the TV, you get the media center, you get the 9 watt
dual speakers.
9 watt dual speaker with amp, right?
Yeah.
All in one package. So you can take your games anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. And actually right now we've got an Indiegogo campaign live. So if you go on Indiegogo and you just search GAEMS, that's GAEMS, that stands for Gaming and Entertainment Mobile Systems. Go to Indiegogo, search GAEMS, you'll find this Guardian there. And we actually have a ton of extra bonuses for our early adopters and contributors for this. This is going to be shipping in July of 2019, and our Indiegogo campaign is going until the Sunday after E3, which is the 2nd week in June.
Pretty awesome. But so thank you again for sitting down with us, talking about the Guardian, and I can't wait for July. This is on my birthday to get lit, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Hit that subscribe button and check out our YouTube channel for more content like this. You can also check TechTheLead.com for all the best and the latest tech news.